Hey guys, it's Harry the Red Bagnall Engine here, and welcome to, well, what I think is the first ranking video on this channel. So I'm sure you can all tell by the title. Today we are going to be ranking all 4 seasons of All Engines Go, as well as the 4 movies / specials from worst to best. So without further ado, let's just get straight into it. Now, even though we all probably know the history of Thomas and Friends All Engines Go, I'm still going to do a brief history on it anyway. So, Thomas and Friends All Engines Go is a reboot of the original Thomas and Friends TV series, which ended in early 2021. All Engines Go aired its first episode on September the 13th, 2021, and at the time of recording this video, aired its final ever episode on May 28th this year, 2025. The series follows the adventures of a younger Thomas the Tank Engine and all of his friends, and in each episode, they all get up to something on the railway, whether it's helping out another engine, or making an important big delivery, or even just getting themselves into a few scrapes every now and then. Originally, All Engines Go was only going to last for 2 seasons, but because of the success of Season 1, 2 more seasons, which became Seasons 3 and 4, were greenlit, which meant that All Engines Go would continue for at least another 2 to 3 years. Now that Thomas and Friends All Engines Go has ended, Mattel have announced that they have got a big project in the works scheduled to come out next year, but at the time I'm recording this video, we have absolutely no idea of what this project could be. So now that I have covered a brief history of Thomas and Friends All Engines Go, we'll get straight into the ranking, starting with... Honestly, I don't really know what to say about Season 1, other than it's my least favourite season of the entire show. Why? Well, a lot of the episodes in this season just felt like rewritten episodes from the original show. The main example being Season 1, Episode 16, Nia's Balloon Blunder. This episode is honestly just a rewrite of Season 15's very terrible episode, Up, Up and Away. Another reason why this season is my least favourite season is a lot of the episodes just get kind of boring. Now, I do get it. It is the first season. Not everything is going to be fantastic because they are getting the hang of it. But, I don't know, just a lot of the episodes just feel like reused episodes from the original series and that they just get kind of boring. But if you disagree with me, then that's fine. I respect your opinion. But without further ado, let's get on to my second least favourite season. Oh boy, Season 3. I'm going to be completely honest. While I do think this season is an improvement over the first season, I actually don't think it's as good as I thought it was. When I was rewatching the entirety of All Engines Go for this video, I came out of Season 3 not actually having the best of times with it. I don't know, it's a season that I feel has got some good moments, but also some pretty bad ones. If there is one thing I'd have to say about this season, it is definitely no way near as boring as Season 1, but it does have maybe 1 or 2 boring episodes, but I won't be addressing them in this video. That will probably be likely for a future video. So, overall, Season 3 is an improvement over Season 1, but it is still really low on the list just because I think it's got some pretty bad episodes and just a couple of boring ones. But again, that's just my opinion, and if you guys disagree, that's completely fine. But now, let's get on to the good stuff. Oh boy, Season 2. Where do I begin with this one? Season 2 is such an improvement over Season 1. the episodes are far more entertaining, and some of them actually have some really, really deep messages in them. Another reason why Season 2 is ranked higher than Seasons 1 and 3 is it isn't a boring season. I wasn't as bored when watching this season compared to when I was watching Seasons 1 and 3, how I found those boring. Season 2 is a lot more livelier, the pacing is more snappier, and it's overall just got a far better tone to it. Although, while I do find Season 2 to be a massive improvement over Season 1, it isn't perfect. It does have a few bad moments in it, but it's still a pretty good season, and it is the first season of the show that I would consider to be good. Not great, but good. Because there is one more season that I think is absolutely fantastic. And that season is... So, Season 4. Honestly, in my opinion, this is the best season of All Engines Go. The reason why I like Season 4 the most is, 1, I find it to be the most entertaining season of the entire show, and I honestly just like all the structure that they were setting up for this season with the whole construction arc. And also, the construction liveries on the engines kind of made them look like they're some sort of industrial engines. But that's just me. And honestly, like Season 2, Season 4 of All Engines Go is not a boring season at all. It's got some really good episodes, and the pacing is a lot more snappier. And overall, I just find it a really good season to watch. But obviously, it's not perfect because, hey, nothing's perfect. But in my opinion, Season 4 is just the best season of All Engines Go. And honestly, I'm really gutted that this is the last season of the show. Would have been cool if it had gone to, like, I don't know, Season 5, 6, 7, or even up to 8. That just would have been so cool. And I think that that's pretty much all I need to say. Honestly, I really enjoyed ranking the seasons of All Engines Go. Season 1 being the worst, Season 3 being the second worst, Season 2 being the start of the good seasons, with the best season being Season 4. I don't know, that's just the order that I just found the seasons to be. But on to the next part, which is ranking all of the specials, starting with my least favourite. So, I don't really know what to say about Race for the Sodor Cup, other than I don't think it's very good. Now, the reason why I don't think Race for the Sodor Cup is very good, and why it is so low on the list, is because it just feels like a rehash of The Great Race from the original show. Plus, the two plots are very similar. Kana wants to win a race to win the Sodor Cup, and that just feels very similar to how Thomas wanted to compete in the Great Railway Show in The Great Race. It just really just feels like a rehash of that movie, but that's just my opinion. Another reason why Race for the Sodor Cup is my least favourite special from All Engines Go is simply because some of the characters like Verona and Federico are just so unlikable. Now, I get it. That was the whole point, but man, they are just so unlikable in this. And that's one thing that just really, really puts me off. But again, if you guys disagree with me, that's absolutely fine. I respect your opinions. Now, on to the next movie. Again, like Race for the Sodor Cup, I don't really have a lot to say about The Mystery of Lookout Mountain. But I will say this, it is slightly better than Race for the Sodor Cup, but it's not great either in my opinion. I don't know, I just tend to find Mystery of Lookout Mountain kind of boring. And the reason why I say boring is because the whole plot of the engines looking for a mine monster kind of works more better for a half-hour special or even just a normal episode. not really a 1 hour movie, but that's just my opinion. But if there is one thing that I do like about this movie, it's the fact that they brought Darcy back. Honestly, seeing Darcy coming back to All Engines Go was actually really nice. It was nice to see her again, and dare I say her character's better than in the original show? So, overall, The Mystery of Lookout Mountain is better than Race for the Sodor Cup, but it can get boring very quickly. But again, if you guys disagree with me, that's absolutely fine. I respect your opinion. But without further ado, let's get on to the next one. Finally, on to the good ones. So, The Great Bubbly Build. Honestly, this is an amazing half an hour special. It does so much right. One reason why I really like this half an hour special is because of the plot. Carly and Sandy decide to build a new train wash for an art project after the old one breaks. Carly wants to focus on the function, while Sandy wants to focus on the fun. And honestly, the idea of both of them having separate ideas compared to where them usually agreeing with each other is actually really, really clever. It basically kind of tests their friendship too, which is something that I do like to see happen in any TV show. And I also like at the end that they do in the end agree to combine it. Sandy does the fun stuff while also having the functional part, which is what Carly wants. And I just like at the end that both of their ideas just come together and then they agree that when they work together, it makes everything so much better. I really like that. Now, like the previous two specials that I've talked about, The Great Bubbly Build isn't perfect by any means. It does have a few moments that feel kind of either strange or sometimes it just drags on a little bit too long. But again, that's just my opinion. But now, on to the next one. So, Sodor Sings Together. Now, I originally wanted to rate this as number 1, but there are one or two things that kind of let this special down for me. The first reason being Duck's appearance. Now, I personally think that something must have happened while they were planning Duck's return, but the fact that Duck only appears in 2 scenes is just a real letdown for me. Another thing that kind of lets this special down for me as well is the plot. Now, the plot is pretty similar to the second season episode Not So Secret Mission. Some lights get destroyed in Vickerstown, which also happens in Not So Secret Mission. Yeah, in my opinion, the two plots just feel really, really similar, and it doesn't really feel that original, but again, that's just my opinion, and you can all disagree with me. However, if there is one thing that I like about Sodor Sings Together, I definitely do like that it is the season finale to All Engines Go. This special honestly felt like a really fitting way to round off the entire show. That last scene of the 8 main characters all singing the final song together definitely felt very finale-esque, and that is one reason why this movie is in the number 2 spot. Yeah, I didn't really have a lot to say about this one, but I just said what I felt I wanted to say. But without further ado, let's get on to the number 1 pick, which is... So, The Christmas Letter Express. Honestly, I don't know what to say about this one, other than it is my favourite special in the entirety of All Engines Go. Seriously, there is just so much that I like about this one. The plot, yes, the plot actually being original for once, the animation, and overall, the whole story structure. In this special, Percy discovers a child's missing letter to Santa at the bottom of his mail car on Christmas Eve, and tries everything he can to get the letter to Santa on time before it's too late. One reason why I really like the Christmas Lair Express and why it's my favourite All Engines Go special as a whole is I just really like Percy in this. Seeing him being so determined to get a letter to someone is honestly feels kind of true to Percy's character. Yes, Percy does still have those cowardly moments, but it's nice to see him get over them and carry on with what he's doing, rather than sometimes seeing him give up or something like that. It's just really nice to see Percy kind of get some character development. However, if there is one thing that I didn't like in the Christmas Lair Express, it would have to be that scene where the engines were looking for a pink polka-dotted skateboard. Because at one point in one of those scenes, the engines were literally looking through a house window, which kind of made it look as if they were trying to break into the house. Now, in real life, if you were looking through a random house window, not only could that be classed as stalking, that could also be classed as attempted break-in. And in real life, you would probably get arrested for that. But hey, it's a cartoon, so that wouldn't happen. But aside from that one scene, the Christmas Lair Express is just my favourite All Engines Go special overall, which is why it's the number one pick on this list. But again, if you guys disagree with me, that's absolutely fine. I'll respect you guys' opinions. Alright, that brings us to the end of the All Engines Go ranking video. Honestly, I really enjoyed working on this video. I really enjoyed ranking the whole entire series of All Engines Go. And honestly, at first, when All Engines Go first came out, I really didn't like it. But after I sat down and watched a few episodes of it, I thought it was actually pretty good. And I just started watching it, and every time new episodes came out, I was honestly really excited. It's definitely been a roller coaster of a ride with All Engines Go, but at least now we know what is going to happen now that the show has ended with this big project that Mattel have got in the works for next year. I guess we'll just have to wait and see what happens. But as a way to close off this video, let's have one sing-along with the engines to close out the video. Take it away, you lot.
All together now! A good song.